What's up, guys? It's me, Astrida C, aka the Traveling RDH, and welcome to my video blog, Ask Astrida C. So I had a really great question come in that talked about pay and if there is anywhere that you can get like a pay scale or how to know what to ask for when you're asking for a job interview for pay, what you should be asking for, what's right in your area. So I'm going to start off with Dental Post every year does a survey of general ideas of what the pay range is for in your areas, and you can log into their survey and you can record what you're being paid. You can see what others eventually, after they submit the survey, you can see what they're being paid and kind of get a general broad idea of that. So that's a really great resource there. The other thing that I say to people is just ask your friends. Ask them, and I hate that people don't like to talk about pay, because how is anybody supposed to know what others are being paid? What is the right range for the area? What's your range for if you're a new grad or you're a veteran? I do say this though, at the end of the day, only you know your worth. So we'll kind of take that into consideration when we ask this question, we answer this question. But I think the best thing you can do is go to your local friend, ask them, say, hey, you're an RDH too, or you're a dental assistant, or you're a dentist. Like, what pay range do you think is considerable or is a good idea or is a good thing to go in for when asking for a job interview for our area? What do you think is a good pay range? And just give them a range. You don't have to say I make $97.27 per hour. That's a really high range. I don't know anybody who makes that, but whatever. I make $40.25 an hour. You don't have to say that. Just say something along the lines of, I think 38 to 42 is a good idea. And then I always go into, your worth and your value. Are you laser certified? Do you have your anesthesia license? Do you know how to do sealants really well? Or, are you good at, providing preventative treatment in terms of like SDF or Invisalign or something along those lines? Whatever your production that you're really good at is something that you're going to want to emphasis on when you go in and you're explaining why you deserve this pay range that you're looking for. So I always say to, know your worth and know your value. No one is going to know your worth and your value. Now, when you're looking at, what the job is offering, that's also something to kind of take into consideration too. What's the pay range that they're looking to pay? You don't want to outdo yourself and say, ask for $10 more an hour than they're realistically going to pay you, because one, you're wasting their time, and you're also wasting your time at going into this interview that, realistically they're not going to meet your salary expectations. So it's definitely something to think about. Now, I also say this when you're talking about salary. So as a temp dental professional or a guest dental professional, we don't get dental benefits or health insurance benefits or paid time off or paid vacation. Now, some of these larger staffing agencies and things like that, they do offer things like that. But if you're an individual or you're working with a smaller agency, they probably don't offer things of that caliber in terms of benefits. So that's also something to think about when you're asking for your salary of what you want to make, because you're going to make a little bit less if you're getting offered those benefits. If you have health insurance, you have, 3 weeks paid vacation, or you have, scrub allowance or CE allowances. Those are all things to take into consideration when you're asking for your salary, because those things in a monthly, what you're looking at, say your doctor pays $400 a month towards your health insurance, and, you get 3 weeks paid vacation, that's going to lower your salary a little bit. So you got to kind of know that going into that. Now, if you're not being offered these benefits, obviously you're going to ask for a little bit more than someone that is being offered those benefits. So like same with being a temp or a guest dental professional. You're obviously going to make a little bit more than somebody that is being offered all of these benefits because of the fact that you're not getting those benefits. You're also going to be offered a little bit more because of the fact that you're on call. You're at a dime's notice. You're there when they need you most to fill in. So they're paying for the convenience of you being on call. So you're obviously always going to make more than somebody that works in a private office. They're full time, they're, whatever. You're going to make more than them. That's just kind of how it works when you're on call. But that is definitely something to think about. So it just depends whether you're looking for a permanent full-time or whether you're working temporary. You kind of got to survey the area. I always tell people that, survey the area, shop around, see what people are offering in their ads, see what other dental professionals are making. Like I said, you don't have to say a specific dollar amount, but if nobody talks about it, we're all going to be on the wrong page. And that's when the whole oh, well, these people are asking for this amount, but these people are only making this amount. And then we all need to be on the same page so that we can all be in the same general area of making sure we're not lowballing ourselves as dental professionals. So I don't think it's wrong to talk about salary. I don't think it's wrong to talk about what you make. Like I said, you never have to say a specific dollar amount, but give them a general range. I always advise new grads when they come in, or even seasoned dental professionals. Like when they come into my agency, they always ask me, what do you think is a good range for what I should be paid? And, I'll advise them based on their experience, based on what they bring to the table, where I feel like they should be. But in the end, ultimately, your worth and your value and what you bring to the table. And that's where you negotiate what you feel is what you should be paid. And that's all based off of all the things that we kind of talked about. So I hope that answered your questions on kind of giving you a general idea about salary, and about what you feel you should be asked to be paid. And every state is going to be different. Like, I live in Pennsylvania, but I also service Virginia, Maryland, DC, and Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina. Like, we service a lot of different states. So for me to come in here and say, you should be making $42 an hour, like, that's unrealistic for me to say. You really have to survey your area and make sure that you're being competitive with the area. Great places for that, like I said, start with your coworkers, other dental friends, maybe someone that you really trust. Maybe even comment in the groups. General people will tell you what they're making in the area. There's a lot of different groups that I've been in that have mentioned what they're making in their area. So, do a little bit of research. And then, like I said, at the end of it, just make sure that you know your worth and your value and calculate it from there. I hope this answered your questions. If you have any other questions about salary expectations or any other things, please feel free to email askastrida, ASTRIDAC @gmail.com, and I'd be happy to answer more of your questions in my video blog series, Ask Astrida C. I hope you all have a great day. Bye.